Today I'm going to show you how you can combine the power of tools like Claude Design, Seedance 2.0 and GPT Image 2 to create beautiful websites like this, even if you've never touched those tools before. And we're going to be going through it step by step. I'll be giving you some Claude Design tips along the way, and you can use the exact images and videos that I use in this video. You can get them all from my free Skool community, first link in the description. So let's get straight into this. Before we even touch Claude Design, we need to come up with a hero image. Now we're going to be using Higgsfield for this, an all-in-one platform for anything content related. They have all the image models, all the video models on here, and we're going to be using GPT Image 2. Most people obsess over the prompt when it comes to building these sort of images, but the main thing that matters is the composition, where we want to have our text, where we want to have our image. This is the main thing that we need to get right. So we have to come up with a plan for how we want our website to look before we actually get started creating an image. We need to decide where we want our headline, our CTA, navigation bar, our image placement, and all of that stuff before we actually start generating these images. Now you can see a couple designs that I've been playing around with before, and the one that I eventually picked in the example at the beginning of this video. We also want to come up with a layout for our website bar the hero section. So to do this, I'd recommend using platforms like Dribbble or Godly, and they are just websites with tons of different website examples on. So you can come look through this. You can see here that they have the hero section laid out like this. Some have it completely different, this sort of style. Tons of different ideas that you can use on these websites. Here is Godly, so this is another one exactly the same as Dribbble. I'll leave both of the links for these in the description below, but you can come on here and this will give you some ideas on how to lay out your website, and then from there you can go ahead and build that hero image. Quick tip for prompting when it comes to creating these images: I wouldn't personally come up with this prompt myself. Here you can see it's a bit of a long one. Again, I'll leave this in the description if you want to use it, but use an LLM for this. Ask Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever LLM you use to build you a prompt. This will speed up the process and it will cut that time that you spend trying to come up with a prompt. Once we have our image finalized, we're happy with it, then we're going to move on to Claude Design. Now this is where most of the design work is going to happen, but we need to be careful here because Claude Design is a token drainer. Like, the token usage is completely separate. It's on a completely separate plan to your Pro or your Max plan within Claude, and we need to be careful that we're not giving Claude Design a massive prompt that isn't right, because we don't want to keep on generating websites from scratch over and over again. Where Claude Design is extremely powerful as it is in editing and coming up with variations like you'll see in a second. So when you're inside of Claude Design, it's going to look something like this, and we have a couple options. We can create a wireframe or we can create a high fidelity page, and we're going to use high fidelity for this. We're just going to create a new project. We'll call it demo 2 and we'll hit create. Now I'm going to move myself over here just while I show you how we're going to prompt Claude Design to get the most out of it. So like I mentioned, where Claude Design excels is creating quick variations of a certain thing. So we don't want to regenerate the website every single time we want to make a change, because you're going to run out of usage and then you're not going to be able to use Claude Design until your usage resets, which is usually about a week. So this is an important step. Now, again, like I mentioned, you can use websites like Dribbble and Godly and kind of ask Claude Design to replicate the style of that website. But what I'll do now is I'll copy and paste my prompt in. I'll add the image that we generated with Higgsfield into here, and then we'll go through the prompt. So this prompt, again, I'll leave in the description if you want to replicate the site that we're building today. But essentially what we're saying is the hero composition is already locked. Like, we have our reference image that we're using here. We've dragged and dropped that into Claude Design. Match the style of that hero section and then build out a few more sections. Now, the key thing in this prompt that is extremely important is this section here. We're saying, before you begin, ask me any questions you need to nail the brief. Once I've answered, build the full landing page in one pass. This is extremely important because we want to essentially enable plan mode within Claude Design. So we're not having to regenerate the site from scratch over and over again. Now, I'd always recommend when using Claude Design to add a line like this in. It's extremely important and it will save you credits in the long run. So let's go back into Claude, hit enter, and then go through the plan section. Okay, so Claude Design has come back with their plan mode feature that we've asked it for. Now, I've gone ahead and I've selected a few different things here, but you can see how important this actually is, because if we were just to go blind into this, copy and paste the prompt in and not include that line to ask us for this information, and you get something wrong or you don't like something, you're going to have to regenerate the website and you're going to burn your tokens extremely fast. Another thing I wanted to point out is that if you're struggling for a design or a layout, you can use those websites like Dribbble or Godly. All you need to do is just screenshot the website and just give it to Claude Design, say replicate this section. Claude does an amazing job at this, so don't feel lost. If you find something you like on either Godly or Dribbble, just take as many screenshots as possible, give that to Claude Design, and it will replicate that section of the website for you. But you can see here that it's asked us tons of different questions. I've just gone ahead, selected a few. So we're using the attached reference image as the hero background. We've selected fonts, different accent palettes, cover artwork, archive card interaction, pricing, top navigation links. You can ask Claude to decide for you, or you can give Claude the information directly if you don't like any of the things that it's come up with. So we're going to hit continue now and see what we get back. Claude Design has finished, and this is the first iteration here of the website. So not bad first try, and I mean, to be honest with you, I think this looks pretty good. Again, we could have gone way more in depth with the actual layout of the website. It's easily doable. Again, use Dribbble and Godly, platforms like those, if you want to replicate certain sites. But the main power of Claude Design is tweaks. So if we turn on this tweaks button here, you can see we can easily edit different sections on the page pretty much instantly. And this is the power of Claude Design. So once we have our first generation here, again, we don't want to keep regenerating this completely. We want to enable as many tweaks as possible. So let's have a look at these tweaks then and make some changes. Also, there are a few more ways to make edits within Claude Design. So I'll quickly show you that before we use tweaks. We can add comments to certain sections. We can edit certain sections, or we can even draw on certain sections. So if we, for example, don't like this, we can then type down here and we can say increase the size, change the text. All of that stuff is easily doable within Claude Design. And now that's the power of it. You're easily able to make these micro edits really quickly instead of just talking to Claude Code like you would do traditionally, and it would take ages to make these edits and cost you loads of tokens. But tweaks is the main thing here. So we can see we can increase the headline scale. We can change the background tone, different accent colors. So you can see here that is changing. We can edit text, fonts, loads of stuff really. Here we can say that we want a bit of a darker hero, or we want a softer hero, or we want lower or lighter hero section. We can scroll down, come to archive columns, which is here. We can say we want 4, or we want 3, or we want 2. We can tighten up the density or keep it generous. But that's the power of Claude Design really. But yeah, once you've got this done, ask Claude for more tweaks, play around with it, come up with something that you like. Now, I'm quite happy with this first iteration of this website. I mean, there are a few changes that we could make. But again, if we wanted to make those edits, all I would need to do, I'd draw on a section and say, change this to this. Or we could draw on a section, add in an image, say, replace this section with this design, etc., really. You just want to be careful of recreating the whole website over and over again. Stick to the micro changes within tweaks, play around with it, and then go from there. Now, you're probably asking, why didn't we add in the video straight away? Now, it's pretty simple. When we actually push this to Vercel and GitHub for mobile users, ideally we want to stay away from rendering a video on a mobile, just because it will take long to render, long to load, increase loading times, all that stuff. So we're going to have an image version, and then now we're going to go back to Higgsfield, use Seedance 2 to actually animate this image, come back to Claude Design and replace that image in the background with our video. As simple as that. You can see how easy it now is to create these beautiful websites with just a few tools. So let's jump back into Higgsfield. So when we're inside of Higgsfield, we want to click on the video section and click on Seedance 2. They have tons of video models that we could use. Seedance 2 is just the best currently though, so that's what we're going for this. We'll click on that, and you can see now that I was testing out some of these videos already. Now, what you want to do here, let me just move this over to the side quickly. Here we want to keep the prompt as simple as possible. Now, all we need to do to use this section is drag and drop our image that we created earlier into this top section here, and just write in a simple prompt. Now, the prompt that I used is here, so you can see pages of the open book flicker gently from the left side to the right, one after another, lifting and settling as if turned by an unseen breath. Now, again, keep this prompt as simple as possible because you don't want too much stuff going on here. You can see at the bottom as well, I said still camera, just moving that one section here. But yeah, you can generate an 8-second or 4-second to 15-second video. Now you're probably wondering, isn't it going to cut at the end? And the answer is yes, but the reality of someone staying in your hero section for more than 15 seconds is quite slim. I mean, when someone goes on your website, they're going to stay in that hero section, maybe look around for 5 seconds max, scroll down, look at other sections of your website. So chances are they're not going to see that video cut and restart. But you can set up like an infinite loop and all of that stuff within Claude Code. It's just a lot more hassle, but just for the purpose of this video, we are going to just keep it running for 8 seconds in this example. But again, generate a 15-second video, that will be completely fine. And then go from there. Now, I would recommend generating it at 1080p, the highest possible quality, because when it goes onto your website, you want it to look good and high quality. Now, all you need to do is hit generate, and then we'll be good to go, and we'll actually just add this video back into Claude Design. So I've just dragged and dropped that video into Claude Design. I'm just going to ask Claude to replace the hero image with that video. Boom, just like that, we have our new video in our hero section. So really easy to do this, and it doesn't take long at all. Like I mentioned, the main power of Claude Design is the micro tweaks that we can make to our website, which is the main thing really. So we can change different sections really easily. We can ask for more tweaks, we can ask for less tweaks, we can make minor adjustments. But yeah, that's essentially this section done. When we're happy with this, we like everything, we've got our website pretty much there, and we want to actually move it into Claude Code. I'll show you how to do that now. It's extremely easy. All you need to do is click on this share button in the top right. Now we can either download the project as a zip, or we can hand off to Claude Code. Now if you click on hand off to Claude Code, because there's multiple different, we have an image file and we have a video file in here, we want to basically just hit on download zip instead. This just makes sure that when we transfer it over to Claude Code, everything renders correctly and all our assets are transferred across correctly. So download the project as a zip, come to your IDE, whether that be Visual Studio Code or Cursor, or Anti-Gravity, whatever one you use, and then you just want to open that file inside of your IDE. Once we have the project folder open here, you can see we have our landing page, HTML, all of the different sections, React elements that Claude Design has built for us for our website. Now, if you haven't got Claude Code installed inside of Visual Studio Code, it's really easy to do. You want to come to extensions here, search for Claude Code, install it, log in to your Claude Code account, and then you will see a Claude logo pop up here. Let me just show you that. So you can see here we have this Claude logo. Click on that, and then all you need to do is just say, I want to view this website that I've just built, run it on a local host. Claude Code will then open your website on a dev server, being your local host, and you can see that our website is here that we've created. Now, from here, all you need to do is push it to GitHub and then Vercel. That's extremely easy to do. Just ask Claude to run you through the steps. That's all from me. Thank you very much for viewing this video. I hope you learned a few things, how to use these different image and video models merged with Claude Design to create beautiful websites in the matter of minutes. Hit the subscribe button. I've got tons of cool stuff coming. Join my free Skool community. I'll leave everything prompts, images that I used to create this website in there. Have a great day, and I'll see you all shortly.